Hello, my name is John Bannon. I'm an attorney and philosopher. In today's video, I'm going to explain why superdeterminism destroys Ayn Rand. I'm going to explain to you what they failed to teach you in college philosophy class about the philosophy of Ayn Rand. I've listed 5 points from Ayn Rand's philosophy, and I'm going to go through them and show you how superdeterminism disproves them. When I talk about superdeterminism, I'm referring to a unique version of superdeterminism proven by Swedish theoretical physicist Dr. Johan Hansen in 2020. You can find his published proof in the peer reviewed physics journal Physics Essays, volume 33, number 2, June of 2020. It starts on page 216 and goes to page 218, and it's entitled Bell's Theorem and Its Tests, Proof that Nature is Superdeterministic, Not Random. Dr. Hansen's version of superdeterminism says that we live in a predetermined static block universe without physical causation or cause and effect or probabilistic causation in physics. Uh, Now, we'll go through these five, and starting with number five, uh, Ayn Rand believed that there was no afterlife. Well, that's wrong under superdeterminism, and the reason is this. Because our static block universe was created atemporally, meaning outside of space and time, by a creator God, then everything that ever occurs in our universe, whether in the past, present, or future, was predetermined by God to happen. So everything's predetermined in the universe, including human thoughts about religion and religions themselves, which means that God had to predetermine that Christianity be the predominant world religion in terms of numbers of members. And as a result, one can reasonably infer the truth of Christian teaching. Because why else would God have predetermined it to be the predominant world religion, especially on a topic involving religion, which is what God wants of humanity? Because Christianity promises an afterlife in either heaven or hell, then one can reasonably infer under superdeterminism that there is, in fact, a block afterlife or an afterlife, uh, either of eternal bliss in heaven or eternal pain and suffering and damnation in hell. Number four, Uh, Ayn Rand believed that we create our own meaning through productive achievement. However, number four has got to be false under superdeterminism. And the reason is because without cause and effect in physics, it is impossible for human beings to actually produce or cause something to happen in the universe that was not already predetermined to happen anyway, or to create their own meaning because you can't create anything without cause and effect in physics. Number three, Ayn Rand believed that personal happiness is the greatest moral purpose. However, number three is also false under superdeterminism. And the reason is that under superdeterminism, anything that would claim to be a universal meaning in life cannot be anything that's a potential because it would have to exist in every life's block life in order to be a universal meaning of life. So, because everybody's lives are already predetermined, you can't change them, then to claim that something is a universal meaning of life means it has to be in every block life that exists. It can't be a potential. You can't say to somebody whose block life in the static block universe does not include X, Y, or Z that this is a universal meaning in life because it's clearly not for them. So, in order to be a universal meaning of life, it must exist in all block lives. So, a potential like happiness does not exist in all block lives. So, therefore, it can't be a universal meaning of life under superdeterminism. All right, number two, Ayn Rand was an atheist. So, her belief was that God is not real. Ein's argument against God is this that a conscious God would have to create his own facts in order to think. If there are no facts yet, because God has not yet created them, then there is nothing for God to perceive or think about. Consequently, the argument is because God would have to create his own facts as the supreme creator, he can't think yet until he creates those facts. So, how could he be a supremely intelligent creator prior to the creation of facts? He wouldn't be able to think. So, therefore, he can't be real because the facts would have to pre exist his existence, his conscious existence. So, the idea of a conscious God who creates his own facts is incoherent. However, the thoughts of God are logically necessary under superdeterminism because God must know of and understand what he creates in order to create them and must have omniscience of the infinite logical possibilities for creation in order to create them. So the very fact that God has the power to create physical reality from nothing or ex nihilo assumes that he has knowledge and understanding of that which he creates. So, for instance, because God has created advanced technologies in our static block universe, then God would have to know of and understand those advanced technologies before he created the universe in order to create them in the universe. So he would have to be supremely intelligent by definition. So, because of that logical necessity of a creator God, then he has to have supreme intelligence. And it's not this sort of human consciousness that we think about where we're perceiving facts. Instead, God has omniscience of everything that is logically possible for physical reality. It's part of his uncaused mind, his uncaused nature. And because of that, he doesn't have to create facts in order for him to understand and know what he creates. Uh, Last, number one, which is what she's most famous for, which is objectivism, or the idea that existence exists. So Ayn Rand claimed that the universe is a self sufficient, eternal totality that operates according to the law of identity, which states that a thing is what it is. So the nature of reality determines its own actions. However, under superdeterminism, physical reality does not actually move because nothing can cause it to move due to the lack of cause and effect in physics. So, under superdeterminism, it's not the universe that determines its own actions. Rather, it is God that predetermined the universe according to his plan that has the result of what we perceive as motion and interaction in the universe, even though our perception of motion and interaction is an illusion of our conscious being. Nevertheless, because it's a static block universe, nevertheless, it's God's predetermined plan that makes the universe seem to move to us. It's not the universe moving. Um, okay, well, there's what they didn't teach you in college about Ayn Rand. And it's pretty serious because superdeterminism basically destroys her entire philosophy. So I'll give you a second to read the board. All right, until next time, take care.